I am back, year 2. Welcome to my factory.
What was the title of our story again?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
By Roald Dahl. Okay, today we're going to keep working on the same objective. I can use speech marks. Okay, take a look at the success criteria. Capital letter. Always start your sentence with a capital letter. And also start a proper noun with a capital letter. Then full stop or question mark or an exclamation mark. Don't forget your finger spaces and then speech marks. Good. Again, speech marks are used to show that someone is talking. And this is called direct speech. When your character is talking, this is called direct speech. Speech marks are right here in blue. Those blue marks are called speech marks. You have to put them at the beginning and end of your sentence. So before writing your sentence and after writing your sentence. Good. Okay, so now I want you to go get a piece of paper and a pencil and come back because we're going to keep working on transforming speech bubbles into direct speech. Wow, that sounds hard. Okay, so yesterday I asked you to write the exact same sentence with a capital letter, a full stop, and finger spaces, right? And you did that, right? Now I have a question for you. This is what you did yesterday. You wrote speech marks, your sentence with a capital letter, a full stop, speech marks again, your verb, and the name, and another full stop, right? This is what we did yesterday. Good. Now, did you notice something? I want to make it a little bit harder. Why? Because you have 2 full stops. Is it possible? No. So here's what I want you to do. Let's make it harder. Go back, remove the full stop, and put a comma. That looks better. So again, yesterday, to make it easier, I asked you to put the same exact sentence. Now I want you to go back to your sentences. Remove the full stop. We had a full stop here, right? Now you're going to go back, remove it, and put a comma. That makes more sense. Now you have just 1 full stop. Wow, that looks hard, but it's not. So again, we're going to do the next one. There it is. We have 2 dogs and a cat. This is called a speech bubble, right? That's a speech bubble. It's when someone is talking in a comic. Now you want to transform it into direct speech. What is direct speech? Direct speech is when someone is actually talking and you want to show that someone is talking. When you want to show that someone is talking, you have to use speech marks. So yesterday I asked you to write the full sentence the same exact way. Okay, but now we have a problem. Let's make it harder. You cannot have 2 full stops. So go back, remove the full stop, and you put a comma. Good. Now it looks better. We have 2 dogs and a cat. We have 2 dogs and a cat, said Mike. Done. Move on. So the next sentence is, you are much taller than me. How will you transform the speech bubble into direct speech to show that someone is talking? Well, you always start with speech marks, then write the exact same sentence. You are much taller than me with a capital letter. Leave the full stop for now. then speech marks again, then your verb, said, and then a name, Jason. Remember, Jason is a proper noun. It's a name. You have to start Jason with a capital letter. Good. Now, same problem. Full stop, full stop. You cannot have two full stops. So what do? Remove the full stop and put a comma instead. So whenever you have a full stop here and you want to write or transform it into a direct speech, remove the full stop and then put a comma. Now, if you want to read that direct speech, how would you read it? You could change your voice maybe. So you know that Jason is a man. It could also be a boy, but let's pretend it's a man. Change your voice.
You are much taller than me,
Said Jason. Move on. I always eat some fruit at playtime. Let's do it together. So again, I want to transform the speech bubble, this bubble, the speech bubble, into direct speech. How do we do that? Speech marks. Then write your sentence the exact same way. I always eat some fruit at playtime. Leave the full stop for now. Speech marks again. Said, Mike, full stop. Now, same problem. Two full stops. Is that right? It's not. So what do? Remove the full stop and put a comma instead. Okay. Next sentence. We are best friends. Good. How will you transform the speech bubble into direct speech? Speech marks. Write your sentence with a capital letter. We are best friends. Leave the full stop. Speech marks again. Said, Mike, full stop. Okay, two full stops? That's wrong. Remove the full stop. Put a comma instead. Good. All right, next sentence. I saw a magic tree. What do here? Again, speech marks. You want to transform it into direct speech. So speech marks. Then write your sentence with a capital letter. I saw a magic tree. Leave the full stop for now. Speech marks. Said, Mike, full stop. Okay, now again, two full stops. That's wrong. So what do? Remove the full stop and put a comma instead. Okay, now if you want to read it, let's pretend that Mike is a man, not a boy.
I saw a magic tree,
Said Mike. Good. Next one. Can I borrow your pencil, please? Question mark. It's a question. Uh-oh. What do we do now? Let's do it together. Direct speech. Speech marks. Write your question the exact same way with a capital letter and a question mark. Can I borrow your pencil, please? Question mark. Speech marks again. Now, you don't say a question. You ask a question, right? So you can't write said. You will write asked. Mike. Full stop. Okay. Now, do you see two full stops here? So basically, you can keep your question mark. Do not change it. Keep it. Keep it the exact same way. Good. Move on. Next question. Have you got any pets? Question mark. Speech marks. Capital letter. Have you got any pets? Question mark. Speech marks again. Asked Mike. So again, leave the question mark the exact same way. Keep it. Do not change it.
Have you got any pets?
Asked Mike. Okay. Next one. What's your name? Question mark. Again, it's a question. How do we do that? Direct speech. Speech marks. Capital letter. What's your name? Keep the question mark. Then speech marks again. Asked Mike. You can change the name if you want to. I'm just trying to make it simple. So, what's your name?
What's your name?
Asked Mike. Speech marks, capital letter, question mark. Keep the question mark. I repeat, keep the question mark. Then speech marks, and then asked Mike. Good job. Move on. Where do you live? Question mark. It's a question. Direct speech. What do we do? Speech marks. Capital letter. Where do you live? Question mark. Speech mark. Asked Mike. Full stop. So again, speech marks. Write your question with a capital letter and a question mark. Then speech marks again. Then your verb and then the name. Mike. Mike is a name. It's a proper noun. It has to start with a capital letter and then full stop. Good job.
Where do you live?
Asked Mike. Next sentence. I think we are lost. Exclamation mark. Uh-oh. What do we do here? Let's do it together. Speech marks. I think we are lost. Exclamation mark. Speech marks again. Said Mike. Full stop. Ta-da. So, just like the question mark, you have to keep the exclamation mark as well. That's easy. All you have to do is to start with speech marks. Then write the whole sentence with a capital letter and the exclamation mark. Then speech marks again. Then the verb said and then the name Mike with a capital letter. Then full stop.
I think we are lost,
said Mike. Good. Next one. We won the match! Exclamation mark. We know what to do. Speech marks. Capital letter. We won the match. Exclamation mark. Speech marks again. Said Mike. Full stop. Good. Keep the exclamation mark.
we won the match,
Said Mike. And the last one. Stop. That's easy. Speech marks. Capital letter. Stop. Exclamation mark. Speech marks again. Verb and the name. Full stop. Stop, said Mike. Good job, you guys. Okay, back to our story. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to find examples of direct speech sentences in the story. So go back to the previous videos. Listen to the story again. And each time you find a direct speech, write it down. How do you know? Well, first of all, whenever I change my voice, that means that someone is talking. And the direct speech is when someone is talking, right? So whenever I change my voice, that is an indication that it's a direct speech. One more thing. If you could read along, you will find speech marks. Good. So I'll give you an example. That was Chapter 4, the first golden ticket. One day, Grandpa Joe was reading the newspaper.
Charlie, listen. 5 golden tickets, each in a bar of Wonka chocolate. Find one and visit the chocolate factory.
There you go. I changed my voice. Then I could see speech marks before Charlie and after the exclamation mark. Good. Now that's a direct speech. Write it down. Another example. Chapter 11, the fifth golden ticket. A few minutes later, Charlie arrived back home. I found it! I found it! He shouted. Done. First of all, I changed my voice. Then I could see speech marks before the sentence and speech marks after the exclamation mark. Then the verb, shouted. Good. Now that's a direct speech. Write it down. Another one. Found what? Asked his grandparents. Here you go. I changed my voice. Speech marks before the sentence or the question. Speech marks after the question mark. Then asked, verb, and who is talking? His grandparents. Another direct speech. Now another one. A golden ticket, answered Charlie. Again, I changed my voice. Then I could see speech marks before the sentence and after the exclamation mark. Then the verb, answered, and then the name, Charlie, with a capital letter because it's a proper noun. It's a name. That's a direct speech. Good job. Can you find another one in this page? I can. Hooray! Shouted Grandpa Joe. Hooray! Exclamation mark. Speech marks, capital letter, hooray! Exclamation mark, speech marks again. Then, shouted, verb, Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe is the proper noun. It's the name. There you go. And then hooray again. So that's a direct speech again. You have to write it down. And the last example, stand back, said a policeman. Okay. I changed my voice. Speech marks before the sentence. Speech marks after the exclamation mark. Then the verb said. And then the policeman. Now, your turn.
See you soon, you two.